I first met Will over 10 years ago at Bridgewater College, and it was a friendship forged from two things: The Simpsons and Metallica.
Hell yeah!
Yeah.
He's a good one.
Well, he's a panicker, isn't he? But this is actually that festival, I think. But he had a great. It was the first night, and he was jumping around and he was rolling around on the floor. He was having a great time. And then the next morning he woke up and he'd obviously bruised his knee or something. And then but knowing Will, because he's a warrior, he thought he'd broken his leg. He says, "Oh, Rich, I think I broke my leg." I said, "You haven't broken your leg." He goes, "Oh, we need to go to the ambulance." Next thing I know, I saw him like walking off, so he hadn't broken his leg, walking off, and he fainted on the path, completely just collapsed. And all these girls were there, and they were like,
One story I did like to hear about Will is, I wasn't there, but he did clear Student Union Bar around Christmas time, because there's Christmas songs all night, and then he put on One by Metallica on the jukebox.
He once turned to me during a film at the cinema. It was like 40 minutes in, and he turned to me and just went, "Did you make pancakes on Pancake Day?" And I kind of didn't know what to say. I'm watching a movie. Film's on.
Many stories about Will involve Pro Evo and how he criminally lost every time he played it. Not one game, I think he won.
We were talking to some guys, and he just went, "Oh, I need to go use the loo." After a while, he came back, and he could not stop laughing. I said, What's wrong with you? What are you laughing at?" The toilets were closed, so he did his business in a hand basin.
We've got lots of stories about him fainting whilst being on the toilet. But
I don't think I've ever been on a car journey with him where he hasn't passed gas.
Oh, when he had his cabbage soup diet.
Cabbage diet, yeah.
That was a rough time. That was a rough time for the core four.
it was. When we went on this cabbage diet, we all suffered really.
And there was that.
Last time we went around Will's, we saw, we found a book on Willies. Willies is probably the best word to use. And not only has he got a book on Willies, but also he had a favourite page, bookmarked, of a Willie paragliding onto a beach. Don't know why that was his favourite, but from all the Willies in the book, that was probably the best.
I preferred Will Williams twice the man he is today.
Yeah.
And he literally was twice the man he is today.
He's the clumsiest guy I know.
Clumsiest
By
guy in the world.
Very
the
clumsy.
far. He
Very
smashes glasses
On a daily basis.
plates.
He fell into a ditch at Wacken. He fell flat on his face at Bloodstock.
I remember being in a club with him and he was talking to some guy who also had an awesome beard, and the guy was saying, when I shave it grows a bit thicker, and then for about 6 months after that, Will shaved the nothing that was on his face.
Yeah.
It'd be like shaving your forehead, it's completely redundant, but he was convinced if he shaved every day where there was nothing, that he would grow a beard.
It's impossible for him to grow a beard. You can't do it.
All his idols have beards.
Now you're a man! A man, man, man! Now you're a man! A mounty, mounty, man! A man, man, man! You are now a man! You're a man! Now you're a man!
Yeah, a lot of his idols
All
have
his
beards.
idols, even his old fella.
Santa.
That guy.
I thought it was a tattoo of Santa.
Yeah.
It's Santa.
There's
And he's got an awesome tattoo. That's true.
of Bob Marley.
He used to like Trivium.
Oh, he did.
Co-edit cameo.
He's changed actually.
He's
I don't think he
like
likes
Trivium
them now. I don't think he does.
Many stories about Will involve Pro Evo and how he criminally lost every time he played it. Not one game, I think he won.
I'm not overly sure on how Will and Rachel got together, but I like to think it was kind of like...
Hope I'm not disturbing you, but I saw you from across the party, and I don't usually do this, but I felt compelled to tell you something. You have and absolutely breathtaking Heine.
Or maybe.
Something like that.
Yeah.
If you had taken bets at uni of the first person out of all our group of friends to get married, Will would be like a 2,000 to 1 outsider.
He wouldn't
So-
be the bottom favourite.
No, obviously.
Nah,
He'd
nah,
be the
we're
That'd
top.
be T-Man.
He's obsessed with cats as well. It's a bit worrying about how much he likes cats. It's too much.